Welcome, everyone, and thanks for joining IPDC's weekly peer support group meeting. This week's presentation is on how to reflect and manage your emotions. Given COVID-19, I'm certain that many of you will find this to be a very valuable learning and skills building exercise. What is reflection? Reflection is the access to understanding yourself and your emotions. Let's take a minute to think about what that actually means. Reflections on your emotional state and the physiological changes in your body, example, your heart beating faster from holding your breath, and the resulting feelings of anxiety, and the ability to recognize and manage these emotional states can improve your coping capabilities. Reflecting on your emotions to better understand how you feel and why you feel the way you do takes practice. Knowing your emotions and how you feel can facilitate how you shift your emotions and will prevent you from feeling stuck in a dark place. In our peer support, I would like to hear from you on how we may better support you here at IPDC. We strive to increase access for compassion, outreach, and social support, and with your participation and engagement. So let us hear from you on how we may better support you. What skills are required? Self-reflection is the key to developing a greater understanding of yourself and your emotions. Let's take a minute to reflect on what skills you might develop in this session. Choosing what to worry about. There are many little things that we could worry about in a day, and you might be tempted to fight through all of them. However, although they may seem important at the time, most battles are not worth fighting for. Know that it is really up to you to either make a big deal of it or to let it go. We cannot avoid day-to-day stress. So let's talk about coping. What is coping? Coping is defined as a transactional process with yourself through which you alter your thoughts and behaviors, meaning your coping responses, in order to manage your stressful internal and external demands. Next, let's look at ways for improving our coping. They include maintaining a positive outlook, stay close to family and friends, and exercise regularly. It is also important to understand how we cope, and it is rooted in three major ways of coping. First is task-oriented coping, avoidance coping, and thirdly, emotional coping. You might be thinking about which of these categories you most frequently use to cope. Now let's look at the first type of coping in more detail. The task-oriented coping is deliberate problem solving that implements strategies in an attempt to resolve a difficult situation. So task-oriented coping is deliberate and focused. Are there benefits to task-oriented coping? Research shows clear benefits from task-oriented problem solving on coping, including decreased depression and decreased physiological distress. So, what about the other two types of coping? Second one mentioned was avoidance coping, and it is coping by avoiding the problem, and that can elevate the negative consequences of the situation. By avoiding or escaping the situation, you do not learn effective ways of solving problems. As you reflect on how you most commonly cope, let's look at emotional coping. Some people use emotional coping when they feel that they must tolerate a stressful situation. While focusing on the emotions and your feelings rather than dealing with the situation, this can worsen depression and physiological distress, and evidence shows that some coping strategies are more adaptive than others. And this explains why some individuals are more adaptive or resilient than others. So, as we reflect on what we learned today, what techniques can you use and apply to better coping? One is to stay positive, and as Maya Angelou says, try to be a rainbow in someone else's cloud. So what are other strategies that you may apply to coping? Tranquility. Take a moment, sit quietly, and may you find calm in all the little moments of your day. As you stay calm, try to remember, don't give up. Stay diligent with determination and believe in yourself. As you leave here today and practice on how to remain calm, pause before you react, collect your thoughts and assess the situation. And remember, there is a pause between every action and a reaction, and use a pause to choose your response. As you interact with others, you should choose a response that will generate the outcome that you would like to achieve. And as you move forward in practice, we'll see you next time when you will share how you have improved your ability to cope.